Hey everyone, this is Wendy's Parade of Perfume. I'm Wendy. Here on my channel, I talk about perfumes, what I'm wearing, what's on my shelf, what I'm thinking about, and things like that. So today's subject matter is 10 perfumes that I have backed up in my collection that I have backups of. Part of that is going to be a little bit of a Wendy's favorites because you back up your favorites, but some of them I don't know why I backed them up. Or there's maybe a philosophical question of the backing up of the perfume bottles and consumption question too. And then the other half of the perfumes are perfumes that I have bought back. So I have either swapped them away or given them away or sold them. And for whatever reason, I missed them and I had to get them back, which is also another conundrum in my perfume life. But let's start with the perfumes that have left my collection and then I deliberately bought them back. Now, I'm not necessarily going to do reviews of all the perfumes, but I am going to just talk about them a little bit and like why I made the decisions I did surrounding these bottles. So, and some of these I'm actually surprised at, but I have to think back here and think of my mental at the time. So this is a bottle of the original Bottega Veneta. Classic, right? I've brought this bottle on my channel many times. I really enjoy wearing this. I actually also have this backed up, but this is listed as a leather chypre or something similar to that. And when this perfume came out, I was very literal in the perfume categorization. So to me, a chypre is a perfume like Aromatics Elixir. You know, it has a dark patchouli, real oak moss, mossy base. And, leather is something like, I'm up in here wearing cabochard or like Augeray, like 70s leather, like the real deal. So when I first tested this expectation did not meet my reality to the degree of like, what are they even talking about? This is not a leather chypre. It's not a leather chypre. It's a suede perfume. It has some synthetic oak moss in it, which makes it green. It's a lovely, 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 classy, wonderful perfume. But a leather chypre, for what I was expecting, it is not. So while I didn't have a full bottle of this, I had a 7.5 ml like dabber and I tested a few times and I was like, well, that's it. I don't like this. I'm just gonna, wear Augeray instead. And for whatever reason, I just got a bee in my bonnet and I wanted to try it again. And at the time, this bottle was mostly full when I got it, but I bought it, I think I swapped for it used and I got it back in my collection and it's been love ever since. So while it was out of my collection, for some reason, I just changed my mind. And I decided to accept the original Bottega Veneta for what it is, which is a modern suede, among other things, but it's not a leather chypre. But that's originally why I got the boot. But then, what can I say? I'm capricious. Here is another one that I just got back in my collection from Bulgari. This is Jasmine Noir. I bought now this is not the original Jasmine Noir. This is another heavily flankered perfume. I bought the original one, I don't know when it came out, maybe 15 years ago. This is a very fuzzy, it's like a white floral set against velvet because there's like jasmine and white florals, but then there's also like licorice and dark almonds, and it just has a dark velvet, black velvet, white flowers on black velvet. That's what it smells like. And I always liked this perfume, but I never like went over head over heels in love with it. And then one day I just swapped it away. There was a period of time when I was into perfume when I was swapping a lot. I don't swap that much anymore. I've swapped maybe 3 times this year. The last couple of years, I probably swapped 3 times total. I don't swap that much anymore, but I don't know. It was one of those things where I liked it, but I didn't love it. So I found something, I guess, at the time that I wanted more. So I swapped away a full bottle of Jasmine Noir. And recently I was able to get this back on my shelf. I think I swapped away a Kenzo perfume that I genuinely did not like, which I'm not going to say. I can barely remember what I swapped for it now, even though I just got this a couple weeks ago. And it's not really summertime appropriate, but it smells so good and I've missed it and I cannot wear this in the fall. Because like I said, this is just a rich, dark floral and it's going to wear wonderfully in the winter, in the fall. It's going to be wonderful. So Bulgari Jasmine Noir is back on my shelf thanks to a swap. Another perfume you guys have seen a lot. This is Odisud from Enikutal and it's almost full. So a couple things about this one. I've been wearing this off and on. This is another one I've been wearing for decades. I've been wearing this since like the end of the aughts. And I've always liked it, but it's not always a perfume that you're going to wear all the time. I think this is a citrus perfume. It's light. It's not hard to wear, but at the same time, it's just kind of weird. And for some reason, I don't know why I sold it. I don't even know what I was thinking at the time. But in the last like maybe 2 years, again, I missed it because I honestly have been wearing this off and on for so long, and I'm so familiar with the scent profile that one day I just missed it. And I also knew that they were getting rid of these types of bottles, so I deliberately bought like an older version because I didn't know what they were going to reformulate it into. And I'm very happy to have my old friend back on my shelf. So that is Odisud from Anna Coutal. Here's one that I'm happy I have it on my shelf, but maybe I didn't need to get it back. This is an older perfume called Hypnosense from Lancome. And at this point, I'm glad I have it because I think it smells really good and it's really dated, but I admit I haven't been wearing it. Another thing that I used to do back in the day was I used to live like more southern in Indiana where it gets extremely hot. Like, whew, I live in Michigan now and the summers are a lot cooler, but those were like, it just gets very hot down there. And at that time, I did not separate out my perfumes enough to be like, this is cold weather, this is medium weather, and this is hot weather. And nowadays, I have like a very, very strict set of perfumes that I wear when it's truly hot out, like 95. Because number one, I don't really like the heat. Number two, the way things smell and the heat on me, I just have bad days with them. In the wintertime, I could be having the best day in the world with these perfumes. But if I wear them on the wrong day and I get overheated and something in there that just makes me sick, that's what's going to happen. Now, this is a rose patchouli. It's kind of the time, but this is it's like a tea scented and also wine scented rose. So it's really unique, but it's very thick and very strong. And I wore it one day and I got too hot and I thought that I just suddenly hated the perfume, which was a little bit of a rash decision. I don't know what I was thinking, but like I said, I was swapping a lot. So I was probably like, here's my bottle of Hypnosense. Who wants to swap with me? Because I just, didn't like it once. And, a year or two later, it cools off more and I just missed it. So, and they were also discontinuing this. So I was like, oh, I got to get it now. So I had a little bit of that pressure of like, well, if you don't get it now, you're never going to be able to get it. So I got this back on my shelf. I've only worn it a handful of times. I'm glad I have it because I feel like I don't have another perfume that smells like this. But I did not need to swap it away. I like it. I like this perfume a lot. So, if you have a bad day with your perfume, just chill out and put it away. Give it another chance. You don't have to throw it away. You don't have to like just send it off into the universe right away because that's stupid. Another recent, I did buy this one. This is Cartier Baiser Volée Eau de Parfum. I had the Eau de Parfum. I also had the Eau de Toilette, which I'm kind of stalking right now. And same thing. This is a rather simple green lily perfume. And when it's really cold and dry, it doesn't wear very well. And I think I got rid of this when I was living further north than I were now, where it never gets cold, or I'm sorry, it's always cold and almost never gets hot. So I think that the winters were just getting so long that I was never wearing it. And I was like, oh, I don't need that. I'll just sell it. But recently, me being an old menopausal lady looking for light things and looking for just things that wear a little bit more simply and more subtly, I suddenly really missed this. And luckily, this is not too expensive. And I think they still make it, so I was able to get it back on my shelf for a reasonable price. And I've missed it. And I'm glad to have it back. And it's never going to leave me again. So those are, and I'm sure there's a couple other examples of me getting rid of my perfumes and then getting them back on my shelf. But I mean, I cannot be the only one that has done this. So you guys let me know, or even verbally, anyone else that has a channel, the few that watch me that do, I mean, what has left your collection and then come back, and what was the reasoning? Nowadays, I still sell things and I still swap things, but they have to be something I am truly not wearing. And it has to be because I am either don't like them or I'm very meh. If I like them at all, chances are, I've been doing this long enough, I will want them in the future. And yeah, I could just let them go, but I don't want to. I don't want to. It's, for me, wearing perfume is an experience, and I want to experience them again, and that's why I get them back on my shelf. So I'm a lot more picky. I do not swap as much as I used to. I don't even sell as much as I used to in the scheme of things, and I'm a lot more strict about what leaves because invariably, now, the majority of perfumes that have left my collection I don't really think about, but there are a handful, so I'm just a lot more careful. Now, for my category of perfumes that I have backups of. Now, some of them are going to be my favorites, and there's going to be good reason, but I have to say that in general, the last couple years, I've gotten very good about not going nuts about backups. First of all, I have so much perfume, my perfume is going to outlive me. Like, I'm going to have to make plans for my bottles for, aftercare. For when I'm not here anymore. That's a little morbid, but like seriously, I don't know. I'm probably gonna die, and someone's gonna have an estate sale, and someone's gonna have like the day of their life finding all the perfume that I have. But anyway, I digress. So number one, I have too much perfume as it is. Number two, sometimes I buy 30 ml bottles, but I also buy the bigger bottles. So if you have a 100 ml bottle, you kind of don't need a backup. That'll be plenty. Even if you have a much smaller collection than I have. Number three, and this is the biggest reason, my most favorites have stayed very consistent over the last years even. And my most favorites are backed up to a degree that I'm not going to lose sleep over it. So for instance, and I'm not kidding, I probably have at least 20 bottles of Samsara. Now, I have the old clear bottles, I have the red bottles, I have the Eau de Toilette, I have the Noir de Samsara, I have some flankers. So this is like every single incarnation of Samsara that you could ever have. I have 2 little bottles of the Pure Parfum that I don't have much of that left, but still. So it's not like I have 20 bottles of this. I just have all of my bottles of Samsara probably equal like 20. And not only has this been reformulated, from what I hear, the reformulation's pretty good, but the original bottles of Samsara, the perfume material is not even available anymore. They don't use Mysore sandalwood and perfume very much at all. Maybe a few niche houses can get that stuff, but generally speaking, it's not available. So I love Samsara for the sandalwood, among other things. So because the perfume material I knew was kind of disappearing, I made it a mission to just get as much of it as I could. When they 86'd these red bottles, they were on the gray market for like $35. So you're damn sure I got a couple. And the clear bottles, I just spied eBay and Mercari and, the secondhand sites just to kind of get them. So if anyone's wondering where they're all at, they're at my house. But anyway, Samsara has been my favorite for years, and I have a lot of Samsara backed up, and I'm very happy about that. The other favorite perfume that I have that's backed up is, hey buddy, is Prada Infusion Dewis from the 2007 version. I wear this perfume almost more than I wear Samsara, because this truly is hot weather, cold weather. I've talked about all that. It's one of my favorites. I wear it all the time. I wear it several times a month. And that's actually extensive wear for a perfume that, for how much perfume I have. You'll get fed in a second. Just relax. Anyway, sorry. The other thing I was looking through my stash. So I have at least another 3 or 4 full bottles of this. And I have some bottles of Eau de Toilette. I have the cedar version. And I also have this like jug. Prada made a 800 ml like jug of it that was on FragranceNet back in the day for like $80. And I just kind of bought it. And I still haven't gotten into it yet. But what a deal. They reformulated this about 10 years ago. That is still available. I've tried that. It's not the same. This is what I want, and this is what I have. So I have this backed up, Prada Infusion Dewis. A summer staple, which has remained affordable, is Eau Dear from Lancome. Now, I was talking about how I'm really not into the heat, but this is like my heat perfume godsend. It even just relaxes me. It smells so good in the heat. It performs well in the heat without being overbearing. It lasts. When it's like sweaty and gross out and you just like burn through your perfume, this will at least last a couple hours on me. I can't say enough good things about this. Now, this is just a citrus, rose, woody perfume. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing like that's going to like knock your socks off, nothing that you haven't smelled before. But for some reason, this just really works for me in the summer. And I'm lucky for once that I love a truly affordable perfume. This is off the market now, but because it was discontinued, I was like, oh shit, I got to spec up on it. So I got a couple bottles of this and they all cost me between $25 and $35 each. So I'm happily, affordably backed up on Lancome O Dear, a summertime perfume that I've been wearing over the summer, at least the last 4 or 5 years, and I just can't live without it. Um, let's see. Another staple real quick. Elizabeth James, Nirvana Black, an everyday perfume, everyday sandalwood. I'm on my third bottle. I have one or two bottles left, and this is a really big one, so this is going to last me a couple of years. But this is just a real solid, real easy, androgynous yet elegant sandalwood that I like. And yeah, Elizabeth and James Nirvana Black, one of my favorites. Been wearing that for years too. This has been out for more than 10 years. Can you believe that? And I've been wearing it for 10 years. So no regrets there. This is a little bit of an oddball. And this is also why you don't always need to buy backups. And, you know, this perfume situation can get a little bit consumptive and a little bit impulsive. I have a perfume from Miller Harris called Fleur de Bois that I really like. It's a slightly bit of a, I think of this as like a beautiful, like springtime chypre. This was when Miller Harris was very niche in the world, in the perfume world. And they still are, but they've been bought out. And long story short, I just found a cheap bottle of it. I didn't need it, and I still, like, I haven't used, I mean, I have a lot of this left. I've had this perfume for a couple of years too, and I have a backup of it that I probably found for like 40 or 45 bucks, and I was just like, oh, I love that perfume, and I just kind of bought it. Now, granted, that was a long time ago, and I can honestly say, even if it's an affordable backup, and it's something that I like, I don't tend to spend my money on that anymore, because I just don't need to. So there's probably one that I don't need to have backed up. I'm glad I have it. I still like the perfume, but I don't need to have it backed up. This perfume I got a backup of. This is Aqua Allegoria Rosa Palisandro Forte from Gerlon. It's Eau de Parfum. The reason I got a backup of this is because they make refillable bottles that are now on the gray market, and I found an affordable vial of it. Now, unlike the Miller Harris, I find the ingredients in this perfume to be very, well, I shouldn't say that. This is natural too. I don't mean to say that, but I didn't quite need to get a backup of this, but I feel that this perfume is very special. It's the Palo Santo Rosewood is beautiful. The sandalwood is beautiful. And I guess because, there's just showing off the bottle a little bit, I don't detect any of those harsh woody aroma chemicals that even Gerlon uses sometimes. It just dries down into this, it's like a, you know, a rosy herbal woody perfume, and the way it dries down, it's just, the sandalwood is real, the Palo Santo Rosewood, it's like real. And I don't know a lot of other perfumes that act like this, where everything just smells really natural and beautiful. And, you know, kind of like my bottle of Samsara, I'm like, how long are these things going to be around? Like, is this going to get reformulated and have ambroxan on the bottom to, you know, stick up for the sandalwood? Like, I don't know. So I didn't need to, but I found a very affordable refill, and I was just like, I just find the ingredients in this perfume to be very natural and very beautiful, and I just wanted a backup, and I feel comfortable in that decision. This is a bottle of Jador Lore, which is now discontinued. This is one of the best vanillas I've ever smelled. Just rich, luscious. It really is liquid gold. And this is discontinued in the fact that it's been completely reformulated into a white floral. Now, I've tested it a few times, and I'm liking white florals lately, and I like the new Lore a lot. But did they have to get rid of this? This is literally one of the best vanillas I've ever smelled. It's just gorgeous. And they could have just had, you know, Jador already has a million flankers. Just call it, you know, Jador Lumiere Blanche, and just call it a day and leave this, because this is an excellent perfume. But as things go, I knew this was getting discontinued, so I deliberately stocked on Mercari, and I found like one more bottle of this that was affordable. And within my budget, I paid maybe $60 for it. So while I have a lot of this left, when I do wear it, I only need a spray or two because it's so concentrated. It's an Essence de Parfum. But yeah, I'm glad I have a backup of this, because this is gone. Now, the last two backups are more of, you know, is it a backup when you have the Eau de Parfum and the Eau de Toilette? Another summer staple that I found within the last couple years is from Trussardi, and that is Donna Eau de Toilette. This is almost a little bit like my Eau de Jour, just a really easy to wear, really pretty citrus floral. This has jasmine tea in it. and it's just clean and fresh. And when it's really hot out, I can wear it and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't make me sick. And I really, 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 really enjoy wearing this. And it's an affordable perfume. So lucky me, you know, it's not a freaking $400 perfume. So I got the Eau de Parfum kind of recently just to try it. I like the Eau de Parfum. I would say that this is a little bit stronger. I mean, it's Eau de Parfum, so it's stronger, so that's good. But it's also a little more candied, a little more like heavy on the candied version of things versus the citrus and light version of things. So what I'll do is I'll wear this, the Eau de Toilette, and then I'll maybe have a spray of the perfume later on in the day just to like touch it up. But does that mean that I have a backup of this, or does this mean that I have a different perfume? Because to me, these are like grouped in my mind and I don't really need any more. Although if they discontinue this, I'll cry because I really, really, really hot weather summer perfumes are getting harder to find for me, and I'm getting a lot more picky about that. So I don't know. You tell me. Do I have two perfumes there, or is it one? Another example of this is, and I'm going to do a review about these. This is the from also Aqua Allegoria Neroli Vetiver from Gerlon. I have the Eau de Toilette, and I have the Forte Eau de Parfum. And I have to say that it's very obvious that these are related. You know, they're related and they are, you know, they smell very similar, but the Forte is a lot stronger and it's more like succulent and stuff like that. But I don't know. I was going to get them anyway. They're Gerlon and they're affordable, and I can't say no to Gerlon. But I mean, does this mean that is this actually backed up though? So therein lies the question. I mean, they're similar enough that a regular person probably doesn't need both, but, you know, I'm not a regular perfume person. So anyway, let me know what's on your shelf that you backed up, and let me know what's left and what's come back, or just say hi, because I love hearing from you guys. And I very, very, very rarely talk about this, but I am almost to 1,000 subscribers. I'm up to 950. And once I get to 1,000, I'll never bring it up because I never even thought I would get that many. So if you feel like it, I am non-commercial, non-advertised, and I obviously am just here talking to my phone with you guys. So if you feel like it, please subscribe because it would be cool to get to 1,000. And I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.